Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars franchise seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, and comics, but we've also got TV shows like Ahsoka, Kenobi, Andor, and Mandalorian, and a whole lot more that's about to be announced later this year, as well as at Star Wars Celebration in 2022. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars is that yes, we do know that both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are pouring their heart and soul into really developing this new expanded universe. That's exactly what they are focused on. We saw what they did with Luke in The Mandalorian Season 2's finale. That was an excellent job on their part. You know, Jon, Dave, and Peyton did a great job with the finale. That really, steered things in the right direction until when Gina Carano got fired. That's when a lot of fans started to lose hope from the franchise and exactly how Lucasfilm operates as a company. Now, when we go beyond all of this, we do know that creator Jon Favreau is very much invested in keeping the legacy of George Lucas alive and well, keeping his vision in line with the Kenobi series, with the Ahsoka show, as well as with The Mandalorian Season 3 and 4, which, by the way, in case you guys did not know, that's going to be shot back to back. So we're going to have Season 3, aimed of course for 2022, and then Season 4 for 2023, as long as things stay on track. So when we look at everything related to Star Wars right now, obviously a lot of fans are very much confused as to whether or not Jon Favreau is going to really be able to pull things off correctly here. He's a very big fan of the franchise. He loves the Star Wars fandom. He wants nothing but greatness for the fans. So when we go ahead and check out what's been going on when it comes to Star Wars overall, specifically what's really interesting about all of this is that with both the Ahsoka series and Kenobi series now in development by Favreau and Filoni, both Disney and Lucasfilm are moving ahead with their new Star Wars universe that is going to involve over a dozen TV shows. However, it's described that just recently, creator George Lucas and Jon Favreau have been making major adjustments to the Star Wars franchise moving ahead. Now, it's described that recently George Lucas canceled a major Kathleen Kennedy plan that was put in place before she lost her creative power in early 2020 that is now getting erased by George Lucas in order to regulate the Star Wars brand. Now, it's noted that recently George Lucas finally put an end to Kathleen Kennedy's own Star Wars universe that was going to be done between herself and creator Rian Johnson. It's best described and noted that both Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson were developing their own Star Wars universe in late 2019 into early 2020 and creating a brand new galaxy for the fans to witness in the Star Wars universe that would focus on a timeline in which the Force is no more, and a new power in a new galaxy dubbed as the Vitality would actually be the new equivalent of the Force in this new Johnson galaxy that he was developing with Kathleen Kennedy. Now, all of these projects for TV shows, comics, and books were in development and still on hold until just recently George Lucas and, of course, Jon Favreau put an end to Johnson and Kathleen Kennedy's take on their own universe that was actually a planned universe with Rian that was going to literally wreck the franchise further, that even, of course, what The Last Jedi did. Now, the Vitality by Rian Johnson was his own version of the Force, and that Rian's trilogy was even going to focus on the new galaxy in its early stages. So, here's the thing about this universe that was recently put to an end by George Lucas and Jon Favreau. Thankfully, it was finally canceled fully. None of the material is going to move forward. None of the books, the novels, the comics, the TV shows, whatever have you, connected to the Johnson-Kennedy universe is not going to happen. And we can all thank Lucas and Favreau for doing that. Now, the reason behind this is because, well, of course, they want to focus on one consistent universe. We do know that Kathleen Kennedy is attempting to making her own with the Acolyte TV series and to see if that show can gain traction. And if it does, then she can actually build upon that. But keep in mind, guys, is that she's only creatively involved with that show until this June. Beyond that, it's all Leslye Headland strictly. So Kathleen Kennedy most likely will not be involved while it's being filmed only right now when it's being written. So the thing about George Lucas is that this is a guy that has been betrayed numerous times by Kathleen Kennedy. We saw what happened in that 2013 interview. I'm sure that you all remember this, is when Kathleen Kennedy promised George to take care of the characters, to respect his vision, to respect the storylines and all of the Star Wars Legends material. I mean, this is the same person that said that there is no source material when it comes to Star Wars. And she actually said that, outright said that. And it really annoyed a lot of fans. It angered a lot of fans, because how in the world can you deny that there is a past when it comes to stories related to this franchise that was done throughout the 1990s and the 2000s and even the early 2010s? I mean, Star Wars Legends stretches a very long time and really is a library's worth of material. I mean, hundreds upon hundreds of books and novels and comics all combined. Now, the thing about George Lucas is a very interesting aspect here is that, I don't know if you guys remember when we talked about this a couple of months ago, is that they are going to be recreating his own version of Star Wars Underworld. It's actually a new TV show that is going to be officially announced this fall. It's going to be basically the new version of George Lucas's first TV series of Star Wars. So they actually had test footage leaked on the internet. If you guys want to go ahead and look it up, Star Wars Underworld, check it out. This was actually a show that was being worked on, I believe, back in 2007, and was canceled right around 2008, maybe, give or take, right around, before the decade ended. And this was a very interesting aspect because it was going to deal with criminal overlords. It was going to deal with, crime syndicates, all of these different things that fans would have loved to have seen. And the new take on the show is actually said to involve Darth Maul. And it's going to have a major connection to Solo: A Star Wars Story and really kind of show us Crimson Dawn and show us a post-Order 66 era. It's going to be quite exciting, to say the least. So George Lucas, and John doing everything in their power, doing everything that they can to really keep the franchise in line, to really keep the fans interested. This is exactly their plan, to really kind of just focus on Legends, bringing it back to life, and just giving the fans what they want to see. I was still surprised that what Kathleen Kennedy said a couple of weeks ago about, how basically, once again, she said a second time that there is no source material to work from. It just goes to show you that she is really trying to create this narrative that there are no hardcore, quote-unquote, Star Wars fans from the past, and that there are only new fans, quote-unquote, that have been introduced to the Disney era. So like I said before in the past, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.